Before we get to that, tell me about the origin of the sneaker thrifts.
Okay. So now that shoes are starting to cost so much money, or people want to get rid of shoes, people start thrifting a lot because everybody know fashion is a revolving door. So you might go to Plato's and you see an old 1984 Jordan that's now worth $10,000. So man, let me go find some more used shoes. So my thing was, all these kids cannot afford these shoes after they sell out because they double in value the same day. So why not take his lightly worn shoes, give him store credit. Now he could put $100 and get that shoe that he wanted. He got all these shoes in the house that he can't fit no more. Let me take this and help him get a shoe of his dreams or something like that. Mm-hmm. So that's where the sneaker thrifts really comes from. Like, my first shoe store name was gonna be Kick Push, because I wanted to do a sneaker shop / skateboard shop in Culpeper, since they had a skate park and they had no skate shop. Mm-hmm. So you always, when going into a business, you want to provide something that's not around. You know, A&N was gone, Shoe Show was gone. Like, you didn't have nowhere to get authentic sneakers in Culpeper. Mm-hmm. So let me be that. I got all these people that work at stores, and let me do a buy sell trade, because they could sell it to me if they need money. They could buy a shoe, and they could come trade up and get a better shoe. So I'm like, nobody has this yet, so let me do it.
As a before you go any further, but as a buyer, mm-hmm. is this kind of the same? Because when you're analyzing business and analyzing the market to come up with a business plan, mm-hmm. basically you're there to solve a problem, mm-hmm. right? Was this sort of the way you looked at things, or did you just try to you stepped out of yourself for a second and looked at it from the perspective of the buyer or the kids who were doing without? Or a combination of all that?
I put myself in that place of that kid that didn't have the Jones that wanted them.
Because
8th to 9th grade, my brother got locked up and we got kicked out of our house because he got, back then, if your address goes in the newspaper, your landlord kicking you out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter what, if we was buying a house or whatever, like, my mom put out a lot of money after my pops passed. We took our bread, get in the house, but the dude mm-hmm. still kicked us out. You know what I mean? So the smart thing for my mother was my grandma lived in Culpeper. He was like, look, you go stay with her. I'm going to go stay over here. We're going to save this money up. Shit. You know what I mean? We're going to save up, and we're going to come back together, and we're going to do this the right way, and we ain't going to never be without again type thing, you know? So during that time, I had my, like, growth spurt.
Yeah.
So now I done grew out of my shoes. Now the kid that's known for having the best shoes and best dress, now got to wear 2 pair of Walmart shoes. You know what I'm saying? That was a crushing blow for me. Like, I'm like, I'm going to find the most stylish joints in there. So I picked a pair of shoes and a pair of boots that look like Tim's. I wore them joints. My brother gets locked up. I'm in a size 9. He wore a 10.5. I'm like, damn this. I'm wearing his shoes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I ain't never want to go through that again. Like, that crushed me for like a year. Mm-hmm. I know people laughed at me, but they wouldn't laugh to my face about it because they didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So after that, I'm like, man, this will never happen to me again. I know how some kids feel. I'll be looking at people's shoes, and, you know what I mean? And then I just want to take mine off and give it to them. So mm-hmm. I'm like, look, boom, we're going to make it so they can afford to get these shoes. That's how that came about.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because all of this is important, man. Because like I say, everybody with I say this all the time, everybody with an idea mm-hmm. has no clue. They don't always have a clue of how to bring that idea to fruition mm-hmm. as a business. Mm-hmm. And it seems like you've done that. Mm-hmm. So
trial and error.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a lot of that.
Look, if you go into business and you don't sit up, it's called SWOT analysis, mm-hmm. strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Right. So if you don't go in there and look at what are those 5 things that could doom my business, mm-hmm. and if you never do the analysis to think about what could doom my business, when that shit happens, mm-hmm. you're going to get blown out of the water and your business is going to get doomed.
Yeah. and even when, like, the curveballs could get you too.
Yeah.
Man, the curveballs are so crazy, man. Like, it's unreal. Like, I'm like, man, let me try to do this. Let me try to do this. Now it's working. And then, boom, you get your curveball. Like, let me do everything for my community.
Give me an example of a curveball that's come your way as a businessman.
Okay. I had the same curveball twice.
Okay.
So they always tell you, watch who around you, watch your surroundings. But I ain't that type of person around me. I gave them some free shoes. And the same night that I gave them free shoes, they broke in my store and took everything. You know what I mean? And it's your own people, the same ones that look like you. And
you sure about that?
Oh, I'm positive.
Okay.
Because don't nothing get past me, or in that town, nothing don't come out.
Yeah. I mean, when you have goodwill with people, people tell you stuff too.
I had a police officer roll up to my door and say, it was the same people that did this, and this, and you know who it is. And then their family members start blowing me up, saying, look, we know they did it, we want to make it right type thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's sad, yo. Like, and I'm thinking, like, as much as I do for people and people that I'm taking care of or whatever, and this what you do. So it's like, I don't even want to do shit out here no more.
Yeah.
But that brings me back to having the right people around you is important, and knowing what's your triggers and what could bring you back, and what's the real reason why you're doing stuff.
Yeah.
Shoes ain't just a business that I had, that's my passion.
Yeah.
So if my passion can turn around and make me money, that's the easiest money I'm gonna ever make.
That's right.
So I'm like, man,
that's
look,
right.
I can't let nothing.
It's not work.
Yeah, and so, and I had a bunch of problems was going on there while I was cleaning up and all that crazy stuff. But then somebody that's married to a family member owned the building. They hit me out of nowhere. I was like, look, come on over here. I'll take $700 off the rent. We already have glasses in here for you to use. Boom. Don't even need no security deposit. I'll be there tomorrow. Instantly closed down the other door and told them to keep this security deposit, and I started over.
How long was the break between actual from the day you got broken into and the day you opened your next store?
I cleaned up for like 2 days probably, and I was going to try to stay there. But then when I seen that message, I'm like, man, should I do it? Should I do it? Then I did it. I opened up like a soft opening, like probably like 2 weeks.
You know, damn, man, I didn't realize it was that quick.
Like 2 weeks, man. Then, but like fully open about a month.
Yeah.
Because I had to.
Still, I mean, that's still.
Because it was so much of a loss, bro. Like, and that town had me kind of like, I ain't really want to deal with it at first because I had an opportunity. My man was like, look, joint got broken into. Come on out here with us. And I didn't go, but I was like, listen, I want to still do something for this town. So I owed so much money from people that was looking out. They was like, look, you could sell all these shoes. So I had to pay people. My insurance didn't cover nothing. So
can you talk about why that is? Or
I think insurance the biggest scam in America,
well,
man. It's the mob. Them and credit cards. But so they was like, you didn't have the right insurance. So I was like, well, the insurance rep is the one that gave me the insurance after they came and did a walkthrough, and you know.
Yeah.
And they was like, well, we can't tell how much stuff was worth. I'm like, but I got all the receipts and I could pull up online how much stuff worth. They was like, well, we'll cover the front door, and they end up not even covering the front door.
Damn. So the people who own, well, I don't know how that works.
People that own the building was supposed to fix the door when I first moved in. They never fixed the door, so you could.
You mean like they want to reinforce the door? Or?
It was an old door downtown Culpeper, so it's you know, they were supposed to just fix the door, and then you could boom, and that don't gonna open up.
Yeah.
So the people next door got broken into, right? Early in the morning, they knew it.
Same day?
Yeah, same day.
Mm-hmm.
White woman. Did everything they had to do in their fingerprint, whatever. They didn't even call me and say there was a break-in next door to your shop. So me and my uncle go there at like 1 o'clock. The other people, that happened at like 9 in the morning that the police was there. I get there at like 1. And I always look down just because, you know, it's a thing that we security, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just like only backing in parking spots. I'm paranoid. But I look down, I see it's broken. So I push the door open instantly, you know, stuff was missing, stuff was broke everywhere. Like, damn. So I called the police. Then the lady next door heard me, like, I cussed loud as shit. So she came over there and she was like, oh my God, so you was broken into too? I'm like, 2? She was like, yeah, my back door was kicked in and my iPad was stolen, blah, blah, blah. Like, damn, so ain't nobody tell me.
They came through your front door.
So, yeah,
Did they break
through
the front door?
So they went through her back door thinking it was coming to the back of my shop. So they just took her iPad and then broke into my front door. Took everything. And so I called the police. When the police came, they walked right past me and went right back next door to her. Didn't say nothing. They came in mine. They looked around and took a few pictures. Didn't do no dusting or nothing at first, right? I'm like, yo, y'all ain't going to dust for no prints? It's a whole handprint on the glass right here that got pushed over. My Xbox was moved to the back, and it had dust and it had a fingerprint on it. I'm like, I watched Law and Order or a little or something. Y'all got, but it had like an attitude with me and everything, man. And then, you know, I kept calling them
for help, and they upset with you.
Kept calling them. And it was like it was nothing we could do, basically. But I'm like, yo, your man's told me last night. Y'all know exactly who it is. It was an issue at the Jamaican joint next door. Yeah. That night it was a party. They stole somebody's cell phone there and all that. Hey, man, whatever, man. So that's when I lost faith in a lot of other stuff, you know what I mean? But I was like, you know, my mind went left. Big homies wanted to come do stuff to people, and I'm like, it's going to come back to me and it's karma. Karma going to have its way at the end of the day. And I was like, you know what, whatever. So I moved on to the next shop. That joint was dope. Booming. I remodeled the joint, painted it up nice, did everything. Happens again. Bigger and better again. That's when I bought my man Tank in them on. You know what I mean? I was like, look, I'm going to open up another one. Let y'all get this one, franchise it out. And then I ended up just, after the lease was up, we ended up closing that joint down. I just kept the one in Charlottesville Mall. That was my dream was to always be in the mall. So I got to do that. And, you know, it just keep getting better and better from there. Now I'm
kicking the mic stand.
Oh, shit, my bad. Now I'm in the better joint. Like, this joint is huge.
See, I ain't been to, this is the only one I haven't been to.
This the only one.
I came to your mall joint. Yeah. You wasn't there.
I was like, I got employees now.
Yeah.
Because I was still working.
And it was very professional, too, man. They, you know, you a young dude compared to me, but they really treated you like the boss. Okay. Because, you know people are professional when they talk highly of you when you're not even around.
Right.
So you train somebody right.
Yeah.
It was a big dude. I don't know.
Savon. Yeah. And I ended up closing that one down because the malls are going downhill. So I'm outside, but they let me do whatever I want there, man. They love me. I love them. They got me up out of there. They love it.
It's not a lot of malls left, man. It's like
it's not.
Town centers though. But
I want to buy a mall, bro.
A mall or
a mall?
What are you gonna do with a mall?
Stanton went on sale, but somebody bought it already. Because you think about it, malls are dying out, so these people want to recoup their money, right? Say Stanton Mall, right? Goes up for sale $1.4 million. It probably costs $25-30 million to build a mall. Yeah. Even though it was built in the 80s. So what?
That's cheap.
That's real cheap, right? So I just say $1.5 million. Okay. You now have 6 businesses outside that pays rent on your lot. You have a McDonald's, Applebee's. There's a few other ones. You can't tell me they don't pay $25,000 a month.
Right.
Okay. So $1.5 million, you getting $25,000 a month from each one of these buildings monthly. You paid off in 6 months. That loan that you got to pay for that mall is done. Yeah. Now it's all profit from there. You know, why wouldn't I do that? And then I could convert. I could make rec centers. I could make another movie theater. I could do restaurants in there. I could do make it a small business mall.
You're gonna repurpose a mall. Yep. That's all. That's basically what you're doing.
Yep.
You know, because business is business. It needs something. It need a facility.
Like, cause you can have stores. Like I said, you can have small business locations in there. And then the big ones, you can have your call centers, you can have your boardrooms, you can have youth centers for tutoring and all that, you know, because you're going to have, 60 spaces or something like that. So you got room to do literally whatever you want to do and make it work for everybody. But people don't look at it like that. They always want to buy the malls, level them. Why are you wasting it when you can make money? Yeah. You got tenants there already. They're already going to give you the money that they already was getting.
Right.
Free money.
So, So where are you located now?
So now I'm in Stonefield. The shop's at Stonefield in Charlottesville down by the movie theater, man. And it's like one of those.
What's the address? 2050
Bond Street, Suite 110, Charlottesville, Virginia 22901. And, that's the upscale Charlottesville prime location,
Mm-hmm.
similar to the Harbor.
Same business model though. You get same business model as you've had from the beginning.
Yeah, but better. So the store I got, it's crazy because this is my 5th store, and this is how I wanted the first store to be.
Yeah.
Had my little basketball court in there and all that. Now I got a real basketball court and a sneaker museum on one side, and then I got the shoe store on the other side.
Let me ask you this: better security.
Better security. So we got 24-hour security outside. They come past your store like 3 times an hour. They gotta put their phone up on the thing to make sure that they coming by there.
Mm-hmm.
And I still got my security system, which I had all the time. That's how the last ones got caught,
Yeah.
But the first store, they know I had all that, so they stole a hard drive and pulled the cameras down.
Yeah.
I got past that, and I'm happy now that I got this joint, and it's the best one that I had so far. And like I said, I could do events there. Like it's no limitations to what.
Well, the only limitation you got is the pandemic right now. So I guess once that's over,
they told me that I even if they would shut everything down again, I could serve from the curb if I want to. I could let one person in at a time, whatever, long as I'm safe.
Me and my buddies talk about, man. You don't. It is important to have a recession-proof business. Mm-hmm. Now you got to have a pandemic-proof business.
Exactly.
So if you don't plan for that,
last year had my antennas going. Like okay, so. I couldn't really do too much in the mall because the governor closed down. The mall actually is suing me because they're saying I owe more money and I don't. My lease was up. But over there, they was like, man, only thing I do is close the doors, let one person in, you good money.
Right.
Yeah, so like I give it up for everybody who started a business last year, man, whether it was flipping T-shirts online or people was learning how to do nails. It was the year of the entrepreneur. 2020 was the worst thing that ever happened to us. You know what I mean? Like it was the worst.
I need you to elaborate because I already think I just interviewed some guys 2 weeks ago, and they said the exact same thing.
All right, so what I mean by that is the worst part of it is people was passing away, people getting sick, or whatever that was going on out here. You know what I mean? I'm a conspiracy theorist, but not all the way a conspiracy theorist because people still passing away. And the best part because it taught us how to get money. Again, it retaught us how to get money.
Yeah.
The easy way. When you sitting at home and you getting $600 a week and you barely was making $200 every 2 weeks, you better learn how to do something with that quick.
Right.
A lot of people didn't even get their taxes taken out of that money. That's the first thing I did. Then I started buying shoes from people who needed money.
Right.
You know what I mean? People gonna want money for their rent more than they want their sneakers that they got in their closet. So I started stacking up on the shoes. Mm-hmm. I started flipping cars. People couldn't make car payments no more. Now they want to take the two $600 checks and buy a cheap car. Mm-hmm. So now I'm going to get $250 cars that don't work, put a couple dollars in and sell it for $1,000. So it kept me going, And so why it kept me going, I kept buying shoes and stuff, putting it to the side too. But like I said, like everybody had something to do. Like DJs, boom, going on Instagram, having Instagram parties, becoming millionaires after that. Yeah. Tory Lanez had quarantine radio, made him go out the gym. People started learning how to do YouTube concerts and getting paid off YouTube concerts. Mm-hmm. And then the best thing that happened in music was the versus battles. Yep. Everybody started getting their flowers while they was here. So that's why I'm saying it's the best worst thing or the worst best thing to ever happen to us.
It is definitely, and anybody who's listening, just understand, obviously, we have family members who are not here mm-hmm. because of this stuff. Right. But the fact is, the world's going to keep turning. Mm-hmm. The world's going to rebound. Mm-hmm. And we're not forgetting anybody. We're not looking down on anybody's sacrifice and tribulations and so forth. But you got to look for opportunity at every cost. Mm-hmm. Or you put it this way. You got to look at the bright side. Mm-hmm. Because and I'm not being flippant about it, but you got to look at the bright side, man, mm-hmm. because this shit going to turn. Mm-hmm. It's going to turn. And how you going to be positioned when this is all said and done is what's really important. Yeah,
it definitely changed my outlook on a lot because 2020 was tough all around. Not just the pandemic, but, man, I was losing people back to back. We was losing people back to back. Yeah. So I lost a legend and my uncle that taught me about my great uncle, his uncle, that was the legend. So both the people that I know about that's legendary, I lost both of them within a few months of each other, mm-hmm. And Then I almost died. So like, while I was sitting and couldn't walk or nothing for 3 to 4 months, I had to figure it out for myself. Like at first, like I said, I got a little depressed, but I pulled myself out quick. But I'm like, man, what am I going to do different? How we going to get this money? How is this? How is this? I want this person to have a legacy. Let's do this. And that prepared me for 2021 to take off running. Right? And that's what I've been doing so far. Like, man, I got like 5 or 6 businesses I want to open or help open up this year. And it's crazy. And we're already getting to it. I'm already in at number 2.
Okay. All right.
So that's
that answers my question. And so, what's the outlook for 2021 and into 2022 look like for you?
So, I got a lot of businesses that I want to open up. I want to do a few myself, but I got a few family members that want to open businesses too, and I'm just gonna be behind the scenes. I told them I don't want no kind of credit. Don't even put my name on it. Nothing, because I know people talk. Not that I care, but then people might, But I'm asking everybody, like, what's your dreams? What you want to do? I'll help you if I can. I'm not the richest, but I'm a little different, man. I don't really care about having $1 million in the bank. I can go through $1 million. Helping other people to make me another $1 million. Yeah. Just because I don't got it in the bank, that don't mean I'm a millionaire right now. I just got to claim it. I just got to go out and get it.
I tell you, man. Another one of my buddies. We always talk about how wealthy we are. Mm-hmm. Now we got a couple bucks, but really what we have is family. Mm-hmm. We got children, man. We got good friends. Mm-hmm. We got the type of friends who actually know how to do stuff that will contribute. Whereas, it's people that when they get in trouble, they can't call anybody.
Mm-mm. And I want to be that person that everybody call, because I got turned down by at least 5 people when I went and said I wanted to open up a shoe store. I guess it was a blessing in disguise that some of them didn't, because it was some street people that I wanted, that had the easy money. I'm like, okay. But I'm glad I had to go the hard route, because it taught me how to hustle. It taught me how to just depend on myself. Like, I got to get it for me. Like, nobody's going to hand it to you, Yeah. And, I got some friends that, even though they didn't give me money, they gave me shoes, and I'm still paying them back. They just didn't care. They was like, look, take this. Right. I'm like, nah, man, I don't care how long it's going to take. I'm going to pay you back every dollar plus interest, Yeah. And I shout them out every time I'm talking about stuff or whatever, man, because